Today I'm gonna be taking you guys out to China, show you around a bit, chat a little. Yeah. That's not happening because that was live. So today I want to talk a little bit about me and share the 3 biggest mistakes I made when I first came to Canada. Until date, regret it. But before I get into that, let me tell you about this beaver tail that I got, which is probably one of the best Canadian pastries you're ever gonna have.
So delicious.
Now this thing costs around $9, but that doesn't matter today because this video is sponsored by Wondershare PDF Element. Now you might be asking, what's that? So basically if you're a student, a working professional, or someone who just works with a lot of PDF documents and you're looking for the easiest way to create, edit, convert, and sign PDF documents, then you probably want to check out Wondershare PDF Element. Now let me show you what it can do. Starting with create. So it's pretty intuitive, right? The first step is to create a PDF. Now you can start by just opening a PDF document or dragging and dropping any image or Word files. Now this feature is interesting. You can create a searchable PDF from an image-only PDF. So let's say someone sends you scanned copies of a document that has multiple pages in it. You just need to find and highlight a specific section in it and save it on your computer. You can easily do that. Basically, it's converting a scanned image document into a document that you can edit. Speaking of editing, now that you have created the document, you probably want to edit, right? You can do that easily, but more importantly, very quickly. Seriously, the best thing I like about this software is that you can edit PDFs like you're editing a Word document. Guys, I work with PDFs and Word documents all the time because sometimes I'm writing sales proposals or marketing plans or even just writing scripts for my videos. I'm having to convert Word documents to PDF and PDF to Word, and it kind of gets a little annoying. So being able to edit my PDFs in one spot and not having to convert it to Word document and edit it again makes it easy and kind of a very smooth experience. You can also add or move text and images with an alignment guide, which I find very hard to do with any other PDF softwares, especially the alignment part. It gets a little annoying when you convert a Word document to PDF and the alignment's all messed up. But with PDF Element, I can just do it all in one spot. Now there is another feature that PDF Element offers, it's called Convert. You can transform any PDFs to and from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or images, and the best part is not even losing the fonts and the formatting of the document. Next feature is comment. Now, have you ever worked in a group project where someone did their part and you didn't like what they had to write? And you want to make comments and provide some feedback on their part. And with PDF Element, that's super easy because you can review and mark up PDFs using their commenting tools. Second last feature, create forms and sign. So you can turn any PDF into a form that you can sign or send off to get signatures. There will come a time that you will become an influencer like me, pretty big time, and you're going to be working with a lot of clients and you have to send out proposals to get signatures from them, where you will be able to ask them to put in their information. With PDF Element, you can actually just do that with one click. You can add checkboxes, radio buttons, text fields, lists, and all other stuff. Lastly, passwords and permissions. It allows you to protect your PDFs with digital signatures and passwords, so you can protect it before sending it off. You can restrict people from printing, copying, or editing your PDF. Let's say you're sending something very important, that's when this is going to come handy. And that's basically it. You can use PDF Element on Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. Essentially, I would say PDF Element provides you a simplified PDF experience, making things very easy, quick, and simple, and makes it a one-stop solution for you guys. And I think more importantly, saves you time. So there's actually a link in the description where if you download PDF Element through that link, you can get up to $60 off. I'll say go try it, check it out. You might actually like it. All right, back to me. So basically, I just wanted to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that I made as an international student when I first came to Canada. And till date, some of them still affects me like a lot, and I wish I didn't make those mistakes. So that's why I wanted to share them with you so that you don't have to make those mistakes when you come to Canada. Starting with, I never took my studies seriously. Basically, when I first came to Canada, I was just making so many friends and there were just so many distractions that the first week when classes don't start, it's a lot of activities going on here and there. So you can easily get distracted by what's happening and you start thinking that's the life of international students in Canada. And that's the mistake that I made, is that I thought that was the life of just having fun, partying a lot. partying a lot, and yeah, just hanging out. That's what I thought was the life of international students in Canada. And what's funny is that after a week, when classes started, I was still hanging out and about. I was not conscious of the fact that classes started and I should start focusing on my studies. But what I did instead was still just go out with friends, try to get friends to come out and do stuff with me. And there was this day I went to one of my friend's room in residence, and I told him, "Hey man, don't you want to come out and hang out?" And he's like, "No man, I'm studying and I need to finish this assignment." And I felt so embarrassed that day, and I was like, wow, like, so these guys actually just do stuff on the weekend, but during the week they actually they focus on their studies and they prioritize what's important at the moment, and that was their studies. And I was not doing that at all. The big mistake I made was that I thought it's cool not to take your studies seriously. I used to tell my friends that, hey, yeah, like, I don't understand anything about this class, or I just don't study at all. I thought that was a cool thing to say, but then it's actually one of the dumbest things you can say as a student to your fellow mates, to your fellow classmates. And trust me, they start judging you. The thing is, like, we were brought up in our schools back home, and in a way that we think if you're backbencher, it's one of the coolest things. If you're front bencher, you're just a nerd. But it's actually interesting, because when you come here and you were front bencher, you're actually the smartest guy in the class. You know your assignments, you know your homework, you get them done on time. You're gonna be the smartest person in the room. And there's nothing cool about not knowing what's going on in your class. So the mistake that I made was not to understand that difference. And for a long time, I kept playing the part that, oh, like, I'm too cool, I don't take my school seriously, and I'm failing my classes and all that stuff. So that was one of the mistakes that I made. And of course, the other mistake that I made was not do my assignments on time, not submit them on time, actually not even doing them at times. And I thought that I'll be able to just make up for them by acing my final exams, and that never happened. So yeah, that's a message in terms of academics. I would say that take your school seriously, take your studies seriously when you get here. Now, the next one I want to share is that the second biggest mistake I made was not have a financial goal. To be honest, as an international student, I would say I made more money than an average international student can make. I made more money over the last 5 years than an average Canadian household can make, through side gigs, through opportunities that I've been exposed to and all that stuff. But if you ask me, hey Z, okay, that's cool, you made a lot of money, but how much money did you get to keep? I actually got to keep only $0. I never took my financials seriously. I never thought about saving money. I made money and I spent money without any remorse, without being careful. And that's what I wanted to share with you, is that being able to be financially stable is one of the most important things for you. And I think it's general IQ, common sense. But when you don't prioritize that, it just slips out easily. You know, there were times I made $100 a week. That it's basically like $100 a month. That's a lot of money for a first year or second year student. I definitely made that money in my second year, but I made so much money in my past 4 years, and the fact that I didn't get to keep any of that, I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed of that. And as I said, I have $0 in my bank. So after I graduated, then I started taking my financials seriously, and then I started saving. And I wish I look at my bank account now, and the number I see in my savings, that would have been 10 times bigger than what it is right now if I was only just a little more careful about how I spend my money, how I think about keeping my money, and even setting a goal for saving, right? So that's what I wanted to say, is that maybe when you're a student, sometimes you think that, oh, I'm gonna make my money later on, because that's exactly what I thought. I was making so much money and I was spending it, and then I was like, yeah, it's fine. Right now it's not time for me to save. I'm gonna save when the right time comes. I don't have a lot of responsibilities right now. But guess what? Sometimes the right time will come when you will need a lot of money to invest into something, and you will look at your bank account and then you will regret that, I wish I didn't spend all that money on stuff that was not essential or was not important. So yeah, that's what I want to share. And I will give you a little stat. So In my last year of school, from September 2018 to, I will say, September 2019, that was my last year of school, and I actually didn't even work a lot, not even prioritizing work, not even taking a lot of side gigs, but I was still able to make over $70,000 that year. Then I looked at my bank account again, and I looked at how much I saved that year, and I saved $0 again. So same thing, I look at it and I regret. I look at it and I regret. I'm like, how come I spent so much money? I don't even know what I spent it on. I have nothing. I don't have any flashy cars. I don't have a nice house. I don't know what I spent it on. And that's only because I was not careful with my money. And society will always tell you that it's okay, don't prioritize money and all that stuff. But hey, man, it's one of the most important currency in our society is money. So you want to make sure you want to get your money right. You want to make sure that you get your career right, and you want to be focused on that. You get the end result of what you prioritize. So for me, I prioritized making money. So I made a lot of money. I was career focused, so that brought me a lot of money, but I never focused on saving that money. So I didn't get to save any. So that's my second biggest mistake that I made. And the third one is I was not educated about the credit system that's in place in Canada. So what is credit? Credit is one of the most important thing that you're going to be introduced to when you come to Canada. So credit is basically your financial history as to how good are you with debts. So let's say you have a credit card and you spend money through that credit card, and how timely do you pay back the credit card company? So it's basically, if you get debt, if you pay back your debt on time, it gets recorded. And if you are paying it back on time, you have a good credit rating. And if you don't pay that back in time, you have a really bad credit rating. So I didn't know much about credit when I first came to Canada, and I signed myself up for a bunch of credit cards, and I basically spent them left and right. And my stupid brain, or my IQ, or my common sense, didn't really fathom the idea or the power of credit. It's basically, let's say you're a person and let's say you want to go get a loan. Let's say you want to buy a house. Let's say you want to buy a car. Let's say you want to start a business. If you have a great credit rating, it will act out in your best interest. And it's something to even show off. It just shows that you're responsible. But I just never valued credit. I thought I can make up for it later on. So the mistake I made is that I messed up my credit so bad that I'm having to really feel the impact of that still today. If I want to apply for a loan, I can't get it. If I want to apply for a phone to get it on $0, I can't get it. If I want to buy a car, I can't get it on $0 down. I might not get a good monthly lease payment. And that's because my credit is screwed up. And how I screwed it up is basically by when I was in my first year or second year, I signed up for a bunch of credit cards and I never paid them back. I never paid them back ever. I never did the monthly payments. I just spent it and I forgot about them. And I thought I'm gonna pay it back at a later time. I just didn't. I had all the money to pay it back, but I just didn't. You know what's funny is that by the time I was ready to pay them back, my credit was already screwed up. My credit, let's say I got the credit card from a financial institution, I didn't pay them back, then they forwarded to collections companies. And I still didn't get how bad it is for you to have your debts passed on to collection agencies. So my credit basically took a dip and I was at the worst credit score ever. And it's basically terrible. And right now, as I said, I can't get loans, I can't get a car, I can't get a house. If I want to, it will be at a very high interest rate. My monthly payments are going to be super high. So that's how it's affecting me right now. And the other thing I wanted to say is that, so how do you basically avoid that? So if you had a credit card, if you're spending money on it, just pay that back in time. Let's say you buy a phone and you're using their service to, call and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to pay $60 or $70 monthly. I even avoided those payments. And that just affected my credit in such a bad way. And I still till date regret it so much. I wish I didn't make that mistake. I wish I saved more. I wish I took my studies just a little seriously, although I don't regret that as much because it didn't affect me as much. But my situation of credit and my situation of not being able to save, I made over dollars in the last 5 years. A lot of money. There was a lot of transactions that went through my bank account, but none of them went into my savings. All of them went back to people I just wanted to spend money on. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you're an international student watching this and you're planning on coming to Canada very soon, make sure to take your studies seriously. It's not cool to not be smart and be on top of your studies. It's not cool to not have a lot of money in your bank account, and I think that's common sense. And the third one is make sure to have good credit so it benefits you in the long run. So if you're trying to buy a house, if you're trying to buy a car, if you're trying to get a business loan for an entrepreneurial adventure that you want to step into. So right now I'm trying to fix my credit, and it's on its way up, but it takes some time, and so I'm just having to be patient right now, and I will see. I'll keep you posted as to how it ends up. But yeah, that's that in terms of my mistakes. Now that's basically me making those mistakes, but I definitely don't want you to make those mistakes when you first come to Canada. And I guess that's the purpose of my channel, is to share those experiences of my ups and downs and my failures with you so that you don't have to go through them. I think the route I've taken as an international student, which is a little non-traditional, I was able to experience so many things, and I can share that knowledge with you so that you can actually stand out as an international student down the road. But that being said, I want to say that you will get the end result of what you prioritize, as I mentioned earlier. So if you prioritize your studies, you're going to get good grades out of it. And if you prioritize making more money, and also more importantly saving more money, you're going to get that. And please pay attention to your credit. If you get credit cards, don't just go all out spending money here and there. Make sure if you spend money to pay those creditors back in time, pay your bills on time, so your credit has a good standing. And that's basically it. If you liked what I had to share, subscribe and like the video, and comment below if you are curious to know about anything about the life of international students in Canada. And I guess I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.